Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it? You already know. Like a smack at it. Bye up, bye up. And in Menudo style in direct fashion, man, we're going to get straight into the content of the day. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content I'm kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support, man. We're going up on this channel, and it's all because of you. And for that, I can say I'm very humbled and I'm appreciative. So if you can't tell, man, I'm real sick, right? I got sick. Last night I was fighting with the demons, man. I ain't even gonna lie. Last night I was sweating, shaking, trying to get them chills out. So excuse me if I'm a little bit off today, but that's just what it is, you know? I'm sick. But I wanted to talk about GB from Merced, the rapper, right? You know, he got caught up on that Operation Red Rooster, and there was a lot of people like, ooh, now we're going to find out what he's all about. Ooh, you know, we're going to see if he can hold his mud, if he's solid, right? And quietly as it's kept, it wasn't a big deal that he was locked up for. He only had a probation violation. You know, I'm not going to lie. You know, when I first looked into the case, I see that there was some federal charges and some state charges. But it was basically like a state raids. You know, they were just assisted by the federal government. They were assisted by the feds. You know, there were a couple of the dudes that got arrested. And, that, you know, that's what happens when these raids happen is everybody gets different cases. Some guys are wanted for murders. Some guys are wanted for dope. Some guys are wanted for parole or probation violations, getting caught with guns. They're pretty much going to sweep everybody they can and try to stick something on them, try to pin something on them and see how it works out. You know, when these raids happen 9 times out of 10, unless it's like something very, very serious and they've been focusing on it, a lot of these guys get out. A lot of dudes do flip, but a lot of dudes do get out, right? When I looked into GB's charges, all he had was a probation violation. Something simple as much as hanging out with known gang members or being in an area he wasn't supposed to be in. So it wasn't really a big deal. He did have a bail on it, okay? So whether he made bail or he didn't, I'm not too sure. But he's out. You know, and he actually dropped some cryptic messages, some Tupac quotes on Instagram. Just, you know, thanking everybody, you know, for the support, thanking everybody, you know, for the get down, the love that they showed him, you know, because imagine that. There's a lot of homeboys that get locked up, a lot of people that get locked up and no one gives a shit. When they get locked up, it's whatever. But nowadays, if you're a little rapper or you got a little bit of a notoriety or someone, they know you, you know, you're going to get support. You got fans, you got people who support you, right, no matter if you're right or wrong. That's just the way it is. So, you know, GB was quick to get out and thank his gente. Now, the trippy part about that is when I was looking through some of the comments that people were leaving, there was all kinds of little rat emojis and people talking shit. And I just laughed and chuckled at it because these people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They don't know that guy's business. They don't know, you know, if he said something or he didn't. You know, he had a damn parole violation. It ain't that serious. Everybody else's cases were their cases. His shit was just singular. You know, he was just doing his own thing. The only reason they arrested him, period, is because he's a rapper, man, and that brought more attention and more eyes to the case. Period. That's it. So for all these people calling him a rat and putting rat emojis and how'd you get out, bro? Everyone else is locked up. You must have told. Come on, man. What makes him any different than anyone else? Believe me, there's guys in there for a lot more trickier shit that will cut deals before GB ever will. You know, GB, imagine his name is out there. He's an entertainer. He's a rapper. This Walter can't tell, right? He does. His career's wrapped. It's washed up. It's done. So I think that would be the last thing he did. Plus, it's not like he's looking at a long ass time over a damn probation violation. Well, at the most, a couple of years in the pen, that ain't shit, right? He could do that, I'm sure, standing on his head on the toilet. So it really ain't nothing to it. But, you know, there's so many people that automatically assume just because someone gets out in a couple of days that they've told or that they flipped. And you know, it has happened. Don't get it twisted. It does. It happens. But usually with a case like that, the guys that have flipped have already been flipped. How do you think they got all the information to get them in the first place? Motherfuckers been telling, right? Sometimes they'll arrest dudes that were already telling anyways, just to make it look good. Then they're the ones that get out. So when it comes to GB, I don't see that being the case at all, man. I think it was just something as simple as a damn probation violation and he got caught up and people were automatically thinking, oh shit, this Walter's going to go do a long time. And they were happy. There were so many people happy, like, yeah, it's what he gets. Now, see what's up now. You know, it's what has he ever done to you to hurt your feelings that bad that you want to see another man locked up? I know I don't. I don't give a fuck what anyone does to me, man. I don't want to see no one locked up, no one hurt, none of that. It is what it is, man. If we got a personal beef, personal vendetta, we'll handle our business when we see each other. Other than that, you know, I don't wish that upon no one because I don't want to go through that motion. You know, I've been there and I know what it is. So just to see people doing that, it's crazy, man. You know, the way that this social media shit works nowadays, it's upsetting, you know. That's how people get jackets put on them. That's how people get, you know, slandered. You know, that's defamation of character. That's automatically they assume, oh, this vato had to tell because he got out quick. He had to tell. Nah, he has feria. He bailed out. So when you have bail, then you're going to bail out because you got to get back to that money, get back to that grind, get back to touring, get back to doing what he was doing before he got locked up. You know, there's a lot of vatos in there that are not going to get that opportunity, that are not talented enough to be rappers or any of that, that were really living that street life in the streets like that. And then vatos are going to go through the motions. Now, they're going to be the ones that do some time. You know, you got to understand this Operation Red Rooster was it started by focusing on a murder case. And slowly but surely, they started to compile all this testimony and all this, the CI's information and whatever they compiled to start busting everybody that they felt was involved or was into any criminal acts in and around Merced County, right? That doesn't mean everybody's going to get convicted. That doesn't mean everybody's guilty of what they say. You know, there's vatos that can mention anyone's name. Hey, it was him too, and they're going to snatch him up. Because in the game, man, I know it says innocent to proven guilty, but we all know it's guilty to proven innocent. That's why your ass will sit there in the county jail and fight to prove you're innocent. Okay? That's just the way it is. So, you know, it's something as simple as someone just saying something about you that can get you caught up, and you might not even be involved in the shit. But because people like GB have a name, I mean, his name's Ghetto Boy. He represents his barrio. He's always throwing it up in his songs, you know, talking about certain cases in his songs that they've been involved in. You know, of course he's going to become a target of law enforcement. They see him as pushing propaganda that gets these youngsters all sparked up. See, that's how it is. You know, when there's someone who has too much power or a loud voice, they don't like that. You know, imagine this guy right here raps and shit and kids get all fucking, you know, makes kids want to be a gangbanger and want to join his hood and, you know, and they're feeling some type of way about it. Law enforcement's like, man, this guy's voice is too loud. We're going to shut his shit down. So they'll find any reason to lock his ass up. Regardless of that, man, he's out now. And I think he's going to continue to make good music, and I'm glad he's out. You know, when I first heard he got arrested, I was like, damn, bro, that sucks, you know, because he was just, to me, out of all these Northern California rappers, GB's one of the better ones, and I'll tell you why. Not because he's from my town, that too. Fuck it, that too, right? I'm sick and I ain't in the mood. That too. Yes, he's from the town, right? But even more so than that, he raps better than half these dudes, right? My phone's ringing and shit. That's how you know I'm sick. I didn't even prepare this shit. But he raps better than these dudes. He fucking he has more, you know, he's putting out more game for the gente. And it seems like he was just starting to come into his own and take himself outside of the box rather than just rapping about gangster stuff and gangster rap. Nah, he was expanding his mind and he was taking it to a different route. And it seems like right when you're making it or you're trying something different, boom, that's when you get caught up, right? So I'm happy this guy's out. I'm happy that he has a second opportunity to get his shit together and do what he's got to do, you know. But for all these people that are fucking calling him a rat and that, you know, they don't even know what's up with these cases. Half these people that do this shit and say this shit, I don't know what they want. They want their emoji to get seen and someone to, you know, to be like, oh, that's right. You know, I don't know what they want. I don't know what they're trying to fulfill, or, you know, they're just trying to fuck with them or fuck with other people. I don't know. I've never gotten it, you know. Half these people that say this, they don't show their face. They, you know, all you see is a little letter by their name, and they make that fucking, they're trolling. They make that email that day, you know. All that, they'll go through all the motions of making an email just to put a little rat emoji. And they don't even know this guy like that, man. You know, it sucks that people can't do their own thing because you always constantly have haters. hating. You know, I've been through it a lot, man. It gets frustrated. It gets tiring. You know, it gets tiring because it makes you sit back and think, why are people like that? Why? What is wrong with them? Why were they born like that? You know, their mom must have beat the shit out of them when they were little. Something happened to them. Their uncles touched the dog shit out of them, you know? For them to be thinking about other men that much, you know, just, man, you know, hey, Uncle Simon, I know he busted your hymen, but that's just, you know, it happens, bro. You know, sorry. You know, grow up and get the fuck out your grandma's house. You know, so that's just, it'd be like that sometimes. But I seen it and I was like, wow. Now, I have heard in the town that, you know, a lot of those dudes that got caught up, man, they're going to throw the book at them. You know, there's a couple guys I know by name, I know personally, I'm not going to mention their name here, that supposedly or allegedly, these cops are saying we're super in the mix. We're really doing things right. And them guys, man, they're going to pay the piper. See, you can only get away with things for so long. You could only be the man or out there doing your thing for so long before someone ends up, you know, giving up the ghost. You know, I've never understood that. Even when I was selling dope and I was doing it into my thing out there on the streets way back in the days, I was always of the understanding. I knew what was up. I always knew that, man, I couldn't do that shit forever. It was temporary. You know, first of all, I wasn't a good drug dealer. Second of all, I just knew that all it took was one person to get popped and that was it. They were going to tell like a motherfucker, right? You can't expect a dope fiend to stay solid. So I always understood that and I knew that. And plus, what we were into as being gang members and gang banging went above and beyond just selling a little dope on the streets. You know, we were really in the mix like that. So at any point in time, man, if we got the eyes of law enforcement on us, you know, we were going to get popped for every little thing. They were going to make sure that they took us off the map. See, when people think it's cool when the gang task knows you by name, but ain't nothing cool about that. Okay, I used to think it was cool when I was young. You know, when I got out of YA, 18 years old, kicking back in front of the homeboy's pad, and gang tasks roll by and know you by name, call you by your placazo, your name. What's up, man? How you guys doing? Hey, when you get older and you think about it, these motherfuckers knew you by name. They were watching you, right? So, in real life, man, you don't want that. You don't want, you know, you think, oh yeah, it's cool. Yeah, these motherfuckers know what it is. They know I'm a gangster, right? Shit, you don't want them to know you're a gangster. Because if they know you're a gangster, Holmes, guess what they do to gangsters? They lock them up forever. They don't want gangsters running the streets. It's just not what they want, you know? So anyways, yeah, GB is out. And, you know, a lot of people are talking shit. But I'm here to tell you, man, I'm almost 99% sure this Volta didn't say nothing. This Volta didn't know shit. You know, again, like I said, man, the only reason they arrested him in the first place is because he's a rapper and because fucking he's pushing that gangster narrative, you know? Hopefully this is an eye-opening experience to him. You know, hopefully he doesn't just chalk this up in the book as another notch in the belt of how real, you know, how real he is. You know, people will understand, maybe not today, not tomorrow, but they're eventually going to understand. You know, you think, oh man, yeah, I'm really in these streets like that. That's why I'm getting caught up in these Fed cases. I'm getting caught up in this shit. I mean, it's cool and shit, but for a couple hours until you realize fucking what you're having for dinner that day in that cell, then it ain't cool no more, right? He's being given an opportunity to change his ways, to you know, do something different. And it's truly up to him to see what he does. Now, I know being an active gang member, to some people, that's all they have. I understand it. I felt that way too. I understand that to some people, man, period, Holmes, period, right? They're going to rock like that because there's no way they're going to let anyone call them a piece of shit or think bad about them. But I mean, look, GB's allegedly active and they're still calling him a rat and a piece of shit. Do you see what I'm saying? It just, no matter what you do or what you say, there's always going to be those that oppose. There's always going to be those that don't fucking like you or hate on you, active or not. That's like, trip out on this. That's like me. I used to call my tia's house, right? And my primo was super active, right? Not super norteño, was a different one. He was a super norteño too, but a gangster one, right? So I used to call, and this fool would be like, hey, I don't want that fool on my phone. I don't want that fool calling this house. That fool's not active. He ain't good. You know what I'm saying? I heard this. I heard that. He's a piece of shit. He would say all kinds of shit. A couple months later, he fell off, right? Something happened with him in the county jail. And that motherfucker was begging for forgiveness. I'm so sorry, primo. It ain't like that, homie. Whoop-de-whoop. I didn't know, right? No. Hell nah, right? The thing is this, I'm going to let it go because you're my primo and shit, but do you see how simple it was to disrespect and all that? And then when you're in the same boat, it's like, oh man, now I know. Well, I knew already, motherfucker. I was trying to tell you, but you didn't give me a chance to tell you. So I just truly hope that GB, takes his second opportunity and wiggles. Now, does that mean his case is over if he bailed out? No. He still might do some time. They still might indict him on whatever. That's usually what happens in these cases. Once they pop everyone, people start telling. And if he was involved at a different level in anything, they're going to tell on him. Hopefully he wasn't. Hopefully he was just, because he's well known, that's why they got him, or because he was hanging around with dudes he really didn't know their business. Because that's usually what happens. You might not know any, like the homeboy. You might kick it with the homeboy all the time, and you don't know this motherfucker that killed 3-4 people the other day. You don't even know it. You're posted up with him on the block. Hey, he's out there selling big A1. You're kicking it with them. All this stuff's going on, and they're watching him, and now they're watching you because they see you with them all the time. I mean, he didn't even put you up on game. He didn't even tell you his business or what he's got going on. You didn't ask, he didn't tell, right? And next thing you know, you're getting snatched up as an accomplice in his shit. And you're like, damn, bro, why didn't you tell me? No, that's your active homeboy right there, right? That's your boy. Now you got to write it out to the honeycomb, hide it out with them. That's just how it is. So the game is tricky. All this shit, what you signed up for and the part of the game. This is a part of the game and that's a part of the game. I'm here to tell you guys straight up right now. We truly don't know what we sign up for because it changes every day. I'm not here to poison anyone and say don't gangbang because you're going to get done dirty. Because I got a lot of homeboys that are in the mix and they're actually family men and they're just doing their thing. So it doesn't affect everyone that way. But nowadays with what's going on, man, with all these Fed indictments and shootings and everything that's happening, man, it's kind of a no-win situation. You're kind of putting yourself in a situation where you want to look that cool that you're willing to throw away your life. Life doesn't matter anymore to these youngsters. Life is cheap, man. Life is like easy come, easy go. I remember back in our days, we cared about lives. We didn't care about your life. We cared about ours, right? But we cared about lives. Nowadays, they don't give a fuck who gets hit, what happens. Hey, the more crazier the situation, the more clout they get. And they're willing to sacrifice their own well-being, their own mental state, their own everything for a little bit of clout by some strangers they don't even fucking know. It's wild, right? I'm just saying. So for all those fucking haters that are hating on GB and calling him a rat and all that, get your facts straight, man. Do your homework. Stop judging a man that just because he got out of an indictment that he told or he did this, man. Look into his case, before you slander a man's name. That's unfortunate that people tend to do that all the time and they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit and it just sucks. Anyways, with that being said, I hope that you move forward with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the strive, the struggle, the struggle, the strive. Again, man, I know GB don't like me. I know he plays that active shit. It's understandable, man. Hey, but I love his music. I like his push, man, and I wish him nothing but the best. And that's just what it is, man. Can't no one change my mind state on that. It's going to be like that. Anyways, make sure you guys tap into the collective clips. I'm going to be recording a bomb video in a little bit. Dropping it, man. My take on this fucking Swifty Blue finally coming out of hiding and going kicking it with Chito Rana. It's going to be different right now, man. So make sure you guys tap in over there in a little bit because I'm about to drop it, man. And I appreciate all the support. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle for what I honestly and truly believe in. And that's the betterment of all people, man. I couldn't do this shit without you, man. And I don't intend to. This is the gun, man. Shout out respects to GB. Bunch of haters. He's a rat. He got out. What do you want him to do? Stay in? Fucking weirdos.